Hi there and welcome to the Barbara Young channel and welcome to my Friday Sews. Well, I seem to be sort of between projects at the moment. I've not got as much done as I'd really hoped to, but I have got a few things done. Well, I say a few things done, part the way along I suppose, just sort of bit of this and a bit of that. But let's have a look at what I have actually got done to start off with. Now, one thing I have got done is a skirt. Now, the other week I did mention that I'd made this top from another top that I described. It was a much longer top, quite a bit of material in it, and I also said I've got some material left over that I was going to make a skirt with, and this is the skirt, which I think has come out quite nicely. I've put a waistband in there, but what I've done is where the top of the skirt is, I'll put the waistband on the inside, so that just gives it a reinforcement there. So that's you know, come out quite nice. Long zip in it. Yeah, and I reckon it fits quite nicely, and it actually looks like this. And as you can see, it's come out quite nice now that I've got a top and a skirt to go with it. The skirt is a complete makeup. I had no pattern for this, so I think it's come out really quite nicely. It is a little bit see-through, so perhaps I would have some tights or something on with this, but yeah, it's come out really nicely. Nice and roomy, and yeah, obviously keep me nice and cool during the summertime, which is why I'm going to get changed again, because it's freezing, because it's still spring and like winter, rain and horrible weather, so get something warm back on. That's better, back with the warm clothing again. But yeah, there we go, a nice set, skirt and top set for I suppose lounging around in the garden when it's hot and sunny. And the only bits I've actually got left of doing that top is, actually I've got a few bits left over, but not a lot. I really did try to use as much as I could from making that, that top and skirt, dropping it on the floor. Never mind, I'll tidy up later. But well, what else have I got? The next thing I have been working on, which I've got so far through, is my Quick Sew tops, the Quick Sew 4102, that one. And I've currently done the mock-up, which is this. This is the mock-up. That's as far as I got. I have done the mock-up completely and learnt quite a bit about making this top, of which the video for that should be out next Monday, hopefully. So if you'd like to see that, please do subscribe, and then you'll get a message to let you know when that's up and ready. I was hoping to have got the whole thing made, you know, and the finished garment, but yeah, had a few issues. So yeah, if you want to see that, please do have a look when it's up. The next thing I'm part of the way through is a jacket that I'm altering for someone. I'm putting a new zip in for them. The only thing is, this jacket's turned out to be a bit of a bind. I'll just show you what I've got. There's the zip in it. It's got a backing piece. See, it's quite a long zip for this. It's quite a long jacket. I think it's a large size that somebody wants doing, and it's yeah, coming along very slowly, because when I unpick the seams where I've got to put this zip back in, which of course is the long front seam, but I've also had to undo part of the side seam as well to be able to get into it properly. I don't know if I'll show it up very well on here, but basically when I take that seam apart, because it's like a waxy type material, the holes that were in there they've left holes where the thread was. So I was worried that if I just stitched that back over, it'd end up a bit like, the only way I can describe it is serrated edge, not serrated, but perforated, that's it. Like you get on your toilet roll, and you'd have a weaker point where you'd have more holes even though there was thread in there, and it would likely to tear apart. So what I've done is, you get this seam tape that you can put on over the top of seams, like you've got over here on this section. You've got this seam tape over the top to help hold it in place. But I thought, well, if I do that in the areas where I've taken apart, when I stitch it back together, hopefully there's more reinforcement in that section, so it's less likely to have any trouble. But of course, you've got to press this on with quite a warm iron, quite a hot iron actually, and then you've got to let it settle. So doing each section where I need to put this seam tape back on is taking quite a bit of time, and that's just one side. I've got to do the other half of the zip as well yet, so that's a slow long-term project, as it were. I sort of do a bit when I feel ready to do another bit, because it is slightly time consuming and you do have to sort of be careful. Well, I have to find I'm being careful about what I'm doing so it doesn't muck up the whole jacket. So maybe I might get through that at some point, but yeah, I imagine it'll be a while before it's done, but hopefully it will get done. Just time consuming, but never mind. Well, another project that I have got started with is the Kwiksew 3899 waistcoat, but I've really only just started looking at that properly, so I haven't really got anything to show for that other than it's another project that I've started, and I envisage that being a long-term project anyway, so when I have actually got something I can show you, I will give you an update on how that's going. Next project I started on is this jumper. I was given this jumper by a friend and they said, do as you please with it, and I thought, yeah, okay. Now it's not my sort of thing, not my style quite, you know, this jumper, so I thought what I'll do is I'll take it apart, which is what I've started doing. I've only just started doing that. You can see I've got this one seam partly open, so the idea is to take all the seams out, have loads of the different panels, and then see if it comes undone, and then I can have several balls of wool that I can turn into something else, I suppose. I'm not sure what else I'm going to turn it into because I can't knit, so not really decided what it's going to end up being yet. But yeah, rather than just wasting it or throwing away, come apart and then I'll decide on what I'm going to do with it. Perhaps I should learn to knit, maybe. Don't know. Takes a bit of time to learn to knit, I presume, so not sure I'd have much time for that, along with sewing and that, but you never know. So as you can see, I've not got a lot done. It's more of a sort of a bit of this and a bit of that, and projects started. Just need to sort of, I suppose, push them on and get them actually finished, and then I can push about four different things out the way as done. But yeah, not yet done though. So I do have a question for you, and that question is, how do you keep motivated when projects are going slowly, as mine are at the moment, or when a project is not going well, which is what I'm finding with that top over there that I've started, the Kwiksew 4102 top, and it's taken longer than expected. So, you know, how do you deal with that? How do you stay focused on what you're doing, or do you just dump it in the corner and come back to it when you feel a bit more like, yeah, I'll have a go back at that again, and it becomes one of those UFOs or whatever it is people call those projects that have made their way into the far beyond place, maybe to see it again at some other point. But anyway, if you'd like to comment on how you keep going and stay focused, then please do put that in the comments and let me know how you get along with your projects, and hopefully be something nice to read next week. Well, next Friday Sews, because I usually do my Friday Sews once a fortnight, partly because I don't work that quickly when I'm doing my projects, but it'll be nice to have a read of them. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. I look forward to seeing my next video. Bye!